Hi besties, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew up the upper part of this gown. So if this is the kind of tutorial you like, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel and on your post notification button so you'll be notified every single time I post a new video on the channel. So this is my pattern paper and I've marked out my starting line. From that starting line, I came down 9 inches for my chest line, 10 inches for my bust point, 13 for my under bust and 16 inches for my waistline. Now I'm going to divide my shoulder by 2 and mark, and I'll equally divide my shoulder by 2 and mark the same on the chest line. I'll use my ruler to connect it into a straight line, so we're just drafting out a basic bodice. After that, I'm going to mark a neck width of 3 inches and the depth is 3 inches as well for the front piece. We're drafting out the front. So initially I used my curve ruler, but I didn't place that curve ruler very well, so it wasn't giving me a good neckline, so I had to use my hands to reconnect my neckline. So on the armhole side, I'm going to come down 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'll use my ruler to connect it to the neck width. Now I'm going to measure what I have on that armhole, and what I have there is 8 inches. Half of that is 4. On that point I came in by half an inch. On the chest line, I'm going to divide my round bust by 4 and I'll mark that. Then I'm going to connect the 3 points together to cover out my armhole. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up by 1.5 inch. So this is where my what they call it, my yoke is going to start from. So I went up by 1.5 inch from the chest line and I'm marking it into a straight line. So this upper part now is my yoke. Now on that new chest line, I divided my nipple to nipple measurements into 2. That is what I'm marking. So after marking it, I'll come to the shoulder area. I'll divide the shoulder measurements, the measurement I have on the shoulder, I'll divide it into 2 to get the middle line. So now I'll connect the dots together up onto the measurements, the middle line, like the middle measurements we have on the shoulder. I hope I'm making sense. So on the waistline, I took a dot of 1 inch on both sides. I'll come to the under bust. I took the same 1 inch on both sides. I'm going to connect them into a straight line. So now from the bust point, I came down 1 inch below the bust point. I'll use my curve ruler to connect from the under bust to that point. From the waistline to that 1 inch, I came down below the under bust. Now this is what I have. So now at the new chest line, I'll be marking half an inch on both sides. So I'll use my curve ruler to connect it. Now this is what I have. So the next thing we're going to do is the dot intake I have at that new chest line, which is 1 inch. I'm going to replace it on the side. Then I'll reconnect the armhole. Remember, we have our bust measurement already, so I replaced the dot intake I take on that point and I remarked my armhole measurement. Now coming to the waistline, I'm going to divide my round waist by 4. I will mark the measurement I have at that point. Then I'll replace the 2 inches that we took on the waistline. I'll mark it. So I'll connect it to the chest line. I'm not adding my sewing allowance yet. Now this is what I have. So I'll come down from the bust point by 1 inch. This is the difference between my waistline for the front and the waistline for the back. So the waistline for the front is 16, the one for the back is 15. So I'll just cut out the yoke first. So you see where I'm cutting out, right? Then I'll keep that aside. So I'm going to open up the upper part this way so I can close my bust dart. Like I said, the bust dart is the difference between your front and the back waistline. So now I'm going to slash that bust line open, then I'm going to use it to cover it this way. So I'm going to use my tape and hold it down together. So this is what I have. So I'll just cut off the rest of the pattern. So after cutting, this is what we have. So this is the center and this is the side. Now we are going to be working on the yoke, so I'll go cut out another yoke here. So now I folded another pattern into two and I placed this yoke on it. I'm just going to cut it out so we'll have it together. Remember, this pattern was not folded, so we need the pattern to be on fold so that we can trace out the neckline. So place your pattern on another fabric, another pattern paper, and cut out. So now this is the one we are going to be making use of. You see, now it's on fold. So I've opened it up. I'll be going in by half an inch from that neckline. I'll use my hand to connect this way. Then I'm going to use my ruler to, connect it out, to, draft it out. There's no measurement for this. Then on this other side, I'll come in by half an inch as well. Then I'm going to connect it to this other point. So you guys are seeing what I'm doing here. So there is no measurement for this. Now this is what I have. So the next thing now is just to cut off that piece. So now this is how it's going to look. So you guys are seeing it. So now these are all the patterns. I'm going to go keep it aside. Now for the back, we have already marked out the same measurement like I did for the front. The only difference is that I added 1 inch for my zipper allowance, and remember, for the back waistline, instead of 16 inches it's going to be 15 inches. Then after that, I took my shoulder measurement divided by 2 and I'll connect. Then for the neck width, I used 3 inches just like I did for the front, and I'll come down 1 inch for the depth for the back neckline, and I'll use my hands to connect it. Now on the armhole side, I'll come down 1 inch for the shoulder slope and I'll connect to the neck width. Now on the chest line, I'm going to divide my round bust by 4. I'll mark that measurement at that point. Then cover out my armhole. Now coming to the waistline, I'm going to divide my round waist by 4. Then I'll connect that point to the chest line. So here, to add your darts, you're going to divide your nipple to nipple measure by 2. Then mark the same thing on the chest line, connect it into a straight line. Now for the dart intake, after connecting, for the dart intake, you'll be using half an inch on both sides. Now remember to add your dart allowance if you're going to put that. So I forgot to add a dart. That is why I didn't impute a dart on my blouse. So if you're going to add a dart, please impute that measurement on your pattern or on your fabric. Now after that, I'll come to the neckline. I'll come out by half an inch from that neckline. Then on the zipper on the back, I came out by 1 inch after the zipper allowance, and I'll connect it to the half an inch we came out on the neckline. So now this is how the back neckline is going to look. The next thing is for us to cut out. So guys, if you have watched up to this point, do not forget to give me a thumbs up, like my videos, and subscribe to the channel. Now we're going to be adjusting our zipper allowance. So from the zipper allowance, I came out by half an inch to avoid zipper bulge. Then on that waistline again, I came up by 1 inch. Then I'll use my cover to connect it back to the waistline this way. So from the zipper allowance, I came out by half an inch. On that waistline, I still went up by 1 inch. I hope this is understandable. Then I'm going to trace off the little piece I have there. So here I wanted to cut out, then I remember that we have a yoke for the back. So please, from the armhole area, we are going to be going up by 1.5 inches. This was the same way we went up at the back piece. So go up from the chest line by 1.5 inch like we did. That is where our yoke is going to be starting from. Then we are going to cut out. So all I did here was I went in by my nipple to nipple measurement, then extended the nipple to nipple measurement to that new chest line. If there's any part that is confusing, ask me your question at the comment section. So this is what we have. Now the next thing we're going to do, you're going to cut this part off from that 1 inch, 1.5 inch we went up. So now this is the yoke for the back. So this is how the back piece is going to look. I'll equally get the front pieces. So place the front on the side of the back to make sure that they both align. So now I'll go cut out everything on my fabric. So here, this is the front yoke, and I added 1/2 inch on the neckline area, at the shoulder line, and at the lower part. So these are the two front yoke. I added 1/2 inch on the shoulder, on the neckline area, and on the side. So I didn't add any allowance on the armhole. So for the back, I did the same, added 1/2 inch at the neckline area, at the lower part, and at the upper part. And I have 4 pieces for the back. There is 2 for each side. So for the front, I have 2 pieces, one for main piece, one for lining. So that is what I have here. So what I'll go do, I'll go stitch the necklines with 1/2 inch. I will notch it. So I'll do the same for the back piece. I'll go stitch, notch it, and I'll iron it out. So I'll keep that aside. Now coming to the front pieces, I use the same material for the lining. So for the center front, I cut it on fold. I added 1/2 inch on the side, 1/2 inch on the lower part, and at the upper part. I did the same thing at the side. Now I added my 1.5 inch allowance on the side. So I'm just going to open it up. I have 2 pieces here, one for the main piece and one for the lining. So I'm going to open it up. Then I'll open the sides. So for the side, I have 4 pieces, 2 for the main piece, 2 for the lining. So I'm going to be aligning them, right side facing each other this way. I'll go use 1/2 inch to stitch. I'll do the same for the other side. So whatever I do for the main piece, I'm going to repeat the same thing for the lining. Now for the back pieces, for people who are going to add that, so this is what we have for the back. I added 1/2 inch at the upper part, 1/2 inch at the lower part, and 1.5 inch for the sewing allowance. So for people who are going to add that, just notch your darts. Like I said, I didn't add that because I forgot to add my dart allowance while I was cutting. So for people who are going to add that, so just notch it on your fabric so it will be easy for you to identify. And for this dress, I didn't add any padding to this. So all we have to go do now is just go sew up these pieces, and I'll bring it back to show you what I have. So this is for the front piece. I have sewn and ironed it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place it, that V sharp area, I'll place it 1/2 inch in this way. Then I'll go stitch it down and bring it back to show you. Now after stitching the upper part of the bustier, this is what we have. I have both the main piece and the lining. So I'll place it together this way. I will notch to get the center line. Now I'll get the yoke as well. So I'm done top stitching, just like I told you guys to top stitch. I have top stitched it to hold everything together. So I'll fold it together this way. I'll fold it into 2. Then I will equally notch to get the center line. So I'm going to place it center facing center, like the center point facing the center point. Then I'm going to arrange it properly, see everything aligns well. Then I'll place the lining on it. I'll go stitch the upper part with 1/2 inch, then stitch the sides with 1/2 inch. Now I'll equally do the same for the back pieces. So I have 4 pieces here. I'm going to get 2. The other 2 will be the lining. Then I'll get the back piece. So I've equally turned out the neckline. So I'll place it from the armhole this way. So remember, the part you stitch is going to be facing the zipper area. Then I'll get the lining, place it right side facing each other. So close the upper part with 1/2 inch and close the sides with 1/2 inch. So I'll do that and bring back to show you. So here, this is what I have after stitching the yokes and the lower parts. So do you see how neat both the wrong side and the right side looks? Now this is for the back. I close the zipper allowance. So do you see how the wrong side looks neat and the right side looks even neater? Now we are going to be closing the shoulder. Now you're going to open one of the shoulders, then place the other one inside, then cover it up this way and stitch with 1/2 inch. So you're tucking the shoulder inside. Then after that, you're going to close your side with your side seam. Then I'll do the same for the other side. So I'll stitch that down and bring it back to show you. Now for the sleeve, the length I have here is 28 inches. I want it to be 27 inches. The extra 1 inch is for stitching allowance. Now I'm going to be coming down by my biceps. So I'm going to mark my bicep. So to get your bicep, divide your bust, your round bust by 12, whatever gives, that is your biceps. Then after that, from the tip, I'll just curve out my armhole this way. Like I always say, if there's any other way you draft out your sleeve, please do that. This is how I draft mine. Then after curving it out, the next thing is to take my round arm, to take the round armhole measurement that I have. Then after getting that, I'm going to add 1 inch for my stitching allowance. So the what I have on fold here is 11 inches. So what I have on fold here is 11 inches. So I'm going to make use of everything I have at the lower part. This is like an A line. So I didn't have more fabric. So I didn't mean I have like more fabric. I would have wanted it to have more flay. So I'll just connect from that armhole straight down to the tip, and that is it. So the next thing we're going to do is just to cut out what we have. So guys, if you have not liked any of my videos and subscribe, what are you waiting for? Please hit that subscribe button and like and share my video. I'm going to open up the sleeve. Now we're going to be hemming the side. So for this sleeve, we are not closing up like the normal sleeves. You're just going to attach it that way. So you're going to hem all the sides. Now I lost a clip of when I attached the sleeve to the dress. So like I said, we are not closing up the side. So you're just going to hem the side, then attach it like this. I hope this is clear. So I'm sorry I lost a clip of when I did that. So thank you guys so much for watching up to this point. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and on your post notification button so you'll be notified every single time I post a new video. And if you have any questions regarding this video, please drop your questions on the comment section. See you on my next video. Bye.